I don't have a video idea, so I'm just gonna record myself doing homework and make a video out of that. The assignment is to recreate the game Snakes and Ladders in C. Some might know it as Shoots and Ladders. That's how I first heard about the game. It shouldn't be too hard. I know last video I said the next video was probably going to be Gladius. I have no idea why I said that. It was obviously not going to be true. I haven't worked on Gladius in like a week and a half, or probably 2 weeks by now. I've been busy with school and learning Unity, getting ready for the interview. I've also been playing Ultra Kill, instead of working on my game. So I have about 3 weeks to learn Unity before I even find out if I made it to the second interview. So I don't know, I'll probably be able to work on Gladius at least a little bit in that time. I was kind of hoping to avoid this. I really don't like working on 2 projects at once because it kind of takes away from both of them. When I was working on Gladius Classic, I had a couple of test projects that I would start, but I never intended on fully committing to until I was done with Gladius. But yeah, progress on Gladius is probably going to slow down for the time being, unfortunately. So yeah, that's what's been going on. Anyways, Shoots and Ladders. It's a... we used to play Shoots and Ladders back in the day. We had a board game. But like looking back, it's kind of a weird game when you think about it. You're kind of just rolling a dice and hoping you make it to the end of the board. Even like other games like Game of Life or Monopoly, there's like some decision making in it, but Shoots and Ladders is kind of barely even a game when you really think about it. So like we're supposed to code it so that the game ends when you get to the last space, but if you roll and then it goes over the last space, then it just ignores your roll. So I think that's what I'm doing right now. This is a voiceover, by the way. I recorded this on Wednesday and it's like Saturday now, so I'm not just like focusing on 2 different things at once, coding and talking about something completely different at the same time. I'm not that focused. Also, the code I wrote for the dice roll and the where it says press enter to roll the dice doesn't work, but I figured that out later. So now I'm gonna start adding the ladders and the snakes. I'm pretty sure the teacher wants me to do something like really annoying here, because like with something probably spamming if statements, because like this was before the lesson we learned about arrays. Well, before they learned about arrays. I already knew about arrays because I just already knew about them. This class is easy, but I already know everything that we're learning. If it wasn't for attendance, I just wouldn't even go. It's a waste of my time. That being said, it's my favorite class this semester, so yeah, there's that. So yeah, this code is pretty easy. I was saying I worked with arrays before, but arrays in C are kind of weird. In all the languages I've worked with, you didn't really have to specify the size of the array, but in C you do. For some reason, I don't know why it can't just be dynamic. I'm pretty sure it can. There's some ways you can do. But in this one, I have to specify that there are 9 elements in this array, or 11 elements in the other one. And I didn't know this at first, but for 2D arrays, you have to specify the size of the arrays within the arrays. So I was having trouble figuring that out. And that's what I'm trying to figure out right now, because it's not working. Yeah, I had to look that one up actually. And just like that, no more error. And I just copy and paste it for the snakes, or shoots, whatever you want to call it. And they just have it work in the opposite way. So how I did it is like they're in each array. For each array within the array has a starting position and an end position. For the ladders, the starting position is lower than the end position. For the snakes, it's the other way around. Basically, if the player's position lands on the starting position of a snake or a ladder, it moves to the end position. So, yeah, that's just how the game works. Every time I do a print statement, I always like to put a new line at the end of it so it looks easier to read, so they're not all on the same line. I think I can go through and do that later. There was one bug I found later on with that print statement that I'm doing right now. That it makes no sense why the bug happens. You'll see it in a few minutes, and I couldn't figure it out, like how to fix it. It just didn't make any sense to me. The two print statements for the snakes and the ladders are different, but it was printing them as the same way. You'll see. Right now I'm just going through and putting print statements to just let you know what's going on, because all of this happens in the terminal. It's just a bunch of text. There's no like board. Maybe if I feel like it, I'll go through and like recreate it with HTML canvas or something. Probably not HTML canvas, just regular HTML. I don't know. Oh yeah, this was one issue that happened. It just played the whole game automatically. What I was trying to do with where it says press enter to roll the dice, I wanted to add a scanf statement so that if you just pressed enter, it would like complete the statement, and then everything else would happen after that. But apparently you can't just put an empty scanf statement. So that just didn't work. If you have it scan a number, it also doesn't work. It also doesn't work if you just enter an empty scanf statement. It only works if you put a character, because it doesn't ignore the new line. Yeah. I'm pretty sure the assignment said to like just calculate how many turns it takes to complete a game of snakes and ladders, but I wanted to like add a button for you to roll the dice so you can at least pretend like you're playing this quote-unquote game, but really you are just pressing a button and hoping you make it to the end of the board. It's really weird. I don't know who designed this. Yeah, I'm starting to figure it out. Okay, maybe I'm not figuring it out. Oh yeah, I mean, I think I was trying to use the dice roll as like an empty variable that I can scan, and then it just replaces it just reassigns it later. but that doesn't work. I have to do a character. So I just make a random character variable. And it works. Yeah, add the new line so it doesn't look weird. I think I figured out at some point that the code I wrote for randomizing the dice, it doesn't go from 1 to 6. I think it excludes 6. Yeah, I basically just copy and paste some code that I already wrote for a working dice roll. Yeah, here it is. And that should return a number between 1 to 6. What am I complaining about now? I don't know. You can just hold enter and it spams turns. Oh, here's the bug I was talking about with the print statements. When you land on a snake, it says you climbed up negative spaces, when it should say you slid down a positive number of spaces. And I, for the life of me, couldn't figure out why it was saying that. That's not at all what this line of code should do. It's a really weird bug because because this for loop it moves the player position down if you're on a snake, and then after doing that it'll say that you slid down. Yeah, look, I'm commenting it right now. I just couldn't figure it out. I'm pretty sure I just submitted it like this because it doesn't really matter that much. The game works anyway. I did what I was supposed to. If you're on the starting position, then you move to the end position. And then say that, but it just doesn't. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, project basically done. You said it past me. Gladius, do you have any idea what this means? Yeah, me neither.